Alright, so today we're going to be reading a few chapters. We're going to be reading from the first book of Samuel, and we're going to be reading from chapter 4 all the way to chapter 8. So, yeah, let's go. And the word of Samuel came to all Israel. Now it Now Israel went out against the Philistines to battle and pitched camp beside Ebenezer, and the Philistines pitched in Aphek. And the Philistines put themselves in array against Israel, and when they joined the battle, Israel was smitten before the Philistines, and they slew the army in the field, about 4,000 men. And when the people had come into the camp, the elders of Israel said, Why hath the Lord smitten us today before the Philistines? Let us fetch the ark of the covenant of the Lord out of so I'm not sure you say that. Maybe Soho, maybe, I don't know. Unto us, that when it come among us, it may save us out of the hand of our enemies. So the people sent Soho, that they might bring forth from hence the ark of the covenant of the Lord of hosts, which dwelt between the cherubims, and the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Pinehas, were there when the ark of the were there with the ark of the covenant of God. And when the ark of the covenant of the Lord came into the camp, all Israel shouted with a great shout, so that the earth rang again. And the Philistines heard the noise of the shout, and and when the Philistines heard the noise of the shout, they said, What meaneth the noise of this great shout in the camp of the Hebrews? And they understood that the ark of the Lord had come into the camp. And the Philistines were afraid, for they said, God has come into the camp. And they said, Woe unto us! For there hath not been such a thing heretofore. Woe unto us! Who shall deliver us out of the hand of these mighty gods? These are the gods who smote the Egyptians with the plagues in the wilderness. Be strong, acquit yourselves like men, O ye Philistines, that ye be not servants unto the Hebrews, as they have been to you. Acquit yourselves like men and fight. And the Philistines fought, and Israel was smitten, and they fled every man into his tent. And there was a very great slaughter, for there fell of Israel 30,000 footmen. And the ark of God was taken, and the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Pinehas, were slain. And there ran a man of Benjamin from the army, and came to Soho the same day with his clothes rent, and with earth upon his head. And when he came, lo, Eli sat upon a seat by the wayside watching, for his heart trembled for the ark of God. And when the man came into the city and told it, all Israel cried out. And Eli heard the noise of the crying. Oh, and when Eli heard the voice of the crying, he said, What meaneth the noise of this tumult? I think that's like a really big, like a crowd of people shouting or something. And the men came in hastily and told Eli. Now Eli was 98 years old, and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see. And the man said unto Eli, I am he that came from the army, and I fled today from the army. And he said, What is done there, my son? And the messenger answered and said, Israel has fled before the Philistines, and there hath been also great slaughter among the people. And thy two sons also, Hophni and Phinehas, are dead, and the ark of God is taken. And it came to pass, when he made mention of the ark of God, that he fell from off the seat backward by the side of the gate, and his neck broke, and he died, for he was an old man and heavy, and he had judged Israel 40 years. And his daughter-in-law, Peninnah's wife, was with child, soon to be delivered. And when she heard the tidings of the ark was taken, and that her father-in-law and husband were dead, she bowed herself and travelled through the plains. Pains came upon her, and about the time of her death the woman who stood by her said unto her, Fear not, for thou hast borne a son. But she answered not, neither did she regard it. And she named the child Ichabod, that is, where is the glory, saying, The glory has departed from Israel, because the ark of God was taken, and because of her father-in-law and her husband. And she said, The glory has departed from Israel, for the ark of God is taken. Okay, so this is chapter 5. And the Philistines took the ark of God and brought it to Ebenezer unto Ashdod. When the Philistines took the ark of God, they brought it into the house of Dagon and set it by Dagon. Dagon was like a fake god. And when those of Ashdod arose early on the morrow, behold, Dagon had fallen upon his face to the earth before the ark of God, and they took Dagon and set him in his place again. That there was a power of God making Dagon fall next to the ark of God, because obviously the ark of God was God's, but Dagon was like a false god. So that was basically God proving to the people that Dagon was basically a fake god, and that God is obviously the real God. And when they arose early on the morrow morning, behold, Dagon had fallen upon his face to the ground before the ark of the Lord, and Dagon and the head of Dagon and both of the palms of his hands were cut off upon the threshold, and neither stump of Dagon was left to him. Therefore neither the priests of Dagon nor any who came into the house of into Dagon's house tread on the threshold of Dagon in Ashdod unto this day. But the hand of the Lord was heavy upon those of Ashdod, and he destroyed them, and he smote them with hammer. I'm not sure I said that. Even Ashdod and the borders thereof. God did that because obviously they were evil and they had sinned because they had made a false god. And when the men of Ashdod saw that it was so, they said, The ark of God of Israel shall not abide with us, for his hand is sore upon us and Dagon our God. They sent Rahab, and gathered all the lords of the Philistines unto them, and said, What shall we do with the ark of the God of Israel? And they answered, Let the ark of the God of Israel be carried out unto Gath. And they carried the ark of the Lord, and they carried the ark of the God out of Israel out hither. And it was so that after they had carried it about, the hand of the Lord was against the city with a very great destruction, and he smote the men of the city, both small and great, and they had Hemor, or Hemorah, I don't know, in their secret parts. Therefore they said to the ark of God of Ekron. And it came to pass, as the ark of God came to Ekron, that the Ekronites cried out, saying, They have brought about the ark of the God of Israel to slay us and our people. So they sent and gathered together all the lords of the Philistines, and said, God, oh, and they said, Send away the ark of the God of Israel, and let it go again to his own place, that it slay us not and our people. For there was a deadly destruction throughout all the city. The hand of God was very heavy there. And the men who died not were smitten with the I will say that word, and the cry of the city went up to heaven. Right, time for chapter 6. I like to do it in this view because obviously then you don't have like a million ads like in the way. It basically just makes it way easier to read and obviously easier to watch as well. Anyway, this is chapter 6. And the ark of the Lord was in the country of the Philistines 7 months. And the Philistines called for the priests and the diviners, saying, What shall we do to the ark of the Lord? Tell us how we shall send it to its place. And they said, If ye send away the ark of the God of Israel, send it not empty, but anywise return him a trespass offering. Then ye shall be healed, and it shall be known to you why his hand is not removed from him. Then said they, What shall be the trespass offering which we shall return to him? And they answered, 4 golden hemorrhoids. I presume it's hemorrhoids. Yeah, it'll be hemorrhoids. Anyway, and they answered 5 golden hemorrhoids and 5 golden mice, according to the number of the lords of the Philistines, for one plague was on you all and on you lords. Therefore ye shall make images of your emeralds and images of your mice, that mow the land, and ye shall glory unto the Lord of Israel, and the Lord unto the God of Israel. Perhaps he will lighten his hand for you, and from your gods, and from your land. Why then do ye hearken your hearts as the Egyptians and Pharaoh hardened their hearts? When he had walked wonderfully among them, did they not let the people go, and they departed? Now therefore make a new cart, and take 2 milk cows on which there hath come no yoke, and tie the cows to the carts, and bring their calves home from them. And take the ark of the Lord, and lay it upon the cart, and put the jewels of gold which ye returned to him for a trespass offering in a coffer by the side thereof, and send it away that it may go. And said, If it goeth up by and see, if it goeth up by the way of his own coast by up to Beth Shemesh, then he hath done us this great evil. But if not, then we shall know that it is not his hand that smote us, it was a chance that it happened to us. And the men did so, and took 2 milk cows, and tied them to the cart, and shut up their calves at home. And they laid the ark of the Lord upon the cart, and the coffer with the mitre of gold, and the images of their hemorrhoids. And the cows took the straight way to the way of Beth Shemesh, and went along the highway, lowing as they went. I think that means like mowing and stuff, anyway. And turned not aside to the right hand nor to the left. And the lords of the Philistines went after them unto the border of Bethshemesh, and they of Bethshemesh were reaping their wheat harvest in the valley, and they lifted up their eyes and saw the ark, and rejoiced to see it. And the cart came into the field of Joshua the Bethshemite, and stood there where there was a great stone. And they cleaved the wood of the cart, and offered the cows as a burnt offering unto the Lord. And the Levites took down the ark of the Lord, and the coffer that was in it, wherein the jewels of gold were, and put them on great stone. And the men of Bethshemesh offered burnt offerings and sacrifices the same day unto the Lord. And when the 5 lords of the Philistines had seen it, they returned to Ekron the same day. And these are golden hemorrhoids, which the Philistines turned for a trespass offering unto the Lord the God. And Ashdod rose, one for Gaza, one for Ashkelon, one for Gath, one for Ekron, one, and the golden mice according to the number of the cities of the Philistines belonging to the 5 lords, both fortified cities and country villages, even unto the great stone of Ebal, whereon they sat down the ark of the Lord, which stone remaineth unto this day in the field of Joshua the Bethshemite. And he smote the men of Bethshemesh, because they had looked into the ark of the Lord. Even he smote of the people 50,000 and 10 men. And the people lamented, because the Lord had smitten many of the people with a great slaughter. And the men of Bethshemesh said, Who is able to stand before this holy Lord God? And to whom shall he go up from us? And they sent messengers to the inhabitants of, I don't know how you say that word, saying, The Philistines have brought back the ark of the Lord. Come ye down and fetch it up to you. time for chapter 7, then it's chapter 7 first. Right. And the men of Hyrule, say that name, came and fetched up the ark of the Lord and brought it into the house of, I don't know how to say that name either, on the hill, and sacrificed Eleazar, Eleazar, his son, to keep the ark of the Lord. And it came to pass, when the ark remained in, that the time was long, for it was 20 years, and all the house of Israel lamented after the Lord. And Samuel spoke unto all the house of Israel, saying, If ye do return unto the Lord with all your hearts, then put away the strange gods and from among you, and prepare your hearts unto the Lord, and serve him only, and he will deliver you out of the hand of the Philistines. Then the children of Israel put away the Balaam and Ashtaroth, and served the Lord only. And Samuel said, Gather all Israel to Mizpah, and I will pray for you unto the Lord. And they gathered together, and drew water, and poured it out before the Lord, and fasted on that day, and said there, We have sinned against the Lord. And Samuel judged the children of Israel. And when the Philistines heard that the children of Israel were gathered together, the lords of the Philistines went up against Israel. And when the children of Israel heard it, they were afraid of the Philistines. And the children of Israel said to Samuel, Cease not to cry upon the Lord our God for us, that he will save us out of the hand of the Philistines. And Samuel took a sucking lamb, and offered it for a burnt offering holy unto the Lord. And Samuel cried unto the Lord for Israel, and the Lord heard him. And as Samuel was offering up the burnt offering, the Philistines drew near to the battle against Israel. But the Lord thundered with a great thunder on that day upon the Philistines, and discomfited them, and they were smitten before Israel. And the men of Israel went out of, I'm not sure you said that name, and pursued after the Philistines, and said, and pursued after the Philistines, and smote them until they came unto Bethkar. Then Samuel took a stone and set it between Abisathar and Shen, and called the name of it Ebenezer, that translates to the stone of help, saying, Hitherto hath the Lord helped us. So the Philistines were subdued, and they came no more into the border of Israel, and the hand of God was against the Philistines all the days of Samuel. And the cities which the Philistines had taken from Israel were restored to Israel, from Ekron even unto Gath, and the borders thereof did Israel deliver out of the hands of the Philistines. And there was peace against Israel and the Amorites. And Samuel judged Israel all the days of his life. And he went from year to year in circuit to Bethel and Gilgal, and however you say that name, and judged Israel in all those places. And his return was to Ramah, for there was his for there was in for there was his house, and there he judged Israel, and he built an altar unto the Lord. Alright, so this is chapter 8. And it came to pass when Samuel was old that he made his sons judges over Israel. Now the name of his firstborn was Joel, and the second, I don't know how to say that, and they were judges in Bathsheba. It's actually quite funny because Joel is actually my middle name as well. Obviously Joel, that was his first name, but Joel was my middle name, so it's not often you have the same name as someone in the Bible. Anyway, and his sons walked not in his ways, but turned aside after Lucifer, maybe I'm not sure, and took bribes and prevailed judgment. Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together and came to Samuel at Ramah, and said unto him, Behold, thou art old, and thy sons walk not in thy ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations. But the thing displeased Samuel when they said, Give us a king to judge us, and Samuel prayed to God. The reason why it upset Samuel was because the people wanted to be like the rest of the nations, because they're the king, and they wanted to be like the world, which is why it upset Samuel. That's also why he prayed to God. And the Lord said unto Samuel, Hearken unto the voice of the people in all that they said unto thee, for they have not rejected thee, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them. Another reason why Samuel was upset because the people wanted to replace God and replace it with like a human king instead of God. And according to all the works which they have done since the day that I brought them up out of Egypt, even unto this day, wherewith they have forsaken me and served other gods, so do they also unto me. Now therefore hearken unto their voice. However, yet protest solemnly, that's a tongue twister, unto them, and show them the ways of the king that shall reign over them. And Samuel told all the words of the Lord unto the people who asked of him a king. I'm pretty sure God did give them a king, and I'm pretty sure it was Saul, but obviously Saul started out good, but then went bad, and then after that God anointed David to be king, and this time and then this king was faithful because he was anointed by God, but the other king Saul wasn't faithful because it was just because people anointed him, and obviously we have human nature, so that's why they had. So basically, God gave the people Saul to be a king as a punishment for not asking God to be their king. But then after Saul died, God blessed them and gave them David, who was a good king. And he said that this will be the manner of the king who shall reign over you. He will take your sons and anoint them for himself, for the chariots, and to be his horsemen, and and some shall run before the chariots. And he will appoint him captains over thousands and captains over fifties, and will set them to till his ground, and to reap his harvest, and to make instruments of war, and instruments of his chariots. And he will take your daughters to be confessors, and to be cooks, and to be bakers. And he will take your fields and your vineyards, and your olive yards, even the best of them, and give them to his servants. And he will take a tenth of your seed and of your vineyards, and give to his officers and his servants. And he will take your menservants and your maidservants and your goodliest young men and your asses, and put them to his work. Asses are basically like donkeys and that sort of thing, and like camels as well. He will take a tenth of your sheep, and ye shall be your servants. And ye shall cry out on the day because of your king, which ye shall have chosen, and the Lord will not hear you in that day. Nevertheless, the people refused to obey the voice of Samuel, and they said, Nay, but we will have a king over us, that we may also be like all the nations, and that our king may judge us and go out before us and fight our battles. And Samuel heard all the words of the people, and recounted them in the ears of the Lord. And the Lord said to Samuel, Hearken unto their voice, and make them a king. And Samuel said unto the men of Israel, Go ye every man into a city. That was quite a long one, but at least I managed to do it.